Welcome into the Lakers Report. Nick Roloff, joined by Jeffrey Cooperstein, after the Lakers just defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 108-102 in overtime at the Crypto.com Arena in the play-in game. We're going to break down that win right now and preview the Lakers, who will travel and play to Memphis, the Grizzlies, in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. Here are your three leading scorers. LeBron James had 30, Anthony Davis had 24, and Dennis Schroder, clutch, had 21. Coop, I want to bring you in here because when your two best players, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, show out like how they did tonight, you're going to be a tough team to beat.
What a win for the Los Angeles Lakers. Coming down from 15 points in the third quarter, the Lakers showed their true colors as a team, and they were able to grind it out and win this game in overtime. Probably should have won it in regulation if it weren't for a questionable foul call on Anthony Davis. But when your best players are your best players, like you said, LeBron James with 30 and 10, Anthony Davis with 24 and 15, you're going to be tough to beat. And I think the Lakers will give the Memphis Grizzlies a handful.
Listen, we'll talk more in depth about that foul call at the end, if it was one, if it wasn't one. We'll let you guys weigh in as well. But I just want to go back to the fact the Lakers were down 60-49 at halftime in this game. They were shooting 43% from the field, 23% from three-point range. It was an abysmal offensive performance by the Lakers in the first half, and they weren't getting any stops either. The Timberwolves were shooting 55%, I believe, from the field at halftime.
And Towns was in his bag.
52% from three. You just mentioned it. Karl-Anthony Towns was perfect from the field, dominating inside and outside. He was owning that game. So for you to be down 11, fight back, go get this game to overtime, and win it convincingly in overtime, just shows the type of grit and grind this Lakers team has, led by LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and most importantly, Dennis Schroder. 21 points. He hit the three-pointer to put the Lakers up 3 with 1.4 seconds to go. It was an unbelievable performance. LeBron drives baseline, gets 5 people inside, draws a crowd. Literally the entire Timberwolves defense.
There were 5 guys in the paint.
And he kicks it out. Schroder, corner 3, bang, ice in my veins. That just showed what Dennis Schroder does. Here's the stats on the game. I don't even think this does full justice.
Schroder was so important for the Lakers tonight, especially because D'Angelo Russell was awful.
D'Lo, we'll flash his stats in a bit, was 1-9 from the field. He played 23 minutes. He was horrible. He had 8 assists. I'll give him credit. 8 assists to 1 turnover. That's a good ratio. But when it comes to Schroder's ability to score the ball, putting up 21 points, he defended Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley. Difficult down the stretch. Mike Conley cooked for most of the game, but he made it work down the stretch. So I thought this was a fantastic performance from Dennis Schroder to step in for Russell, who I thought personally was going to have a massive game against his former team, who traded him at the trade deadline. Schroder came in, dominated that game, and the Lakers will be heading to the playoffs. We'll break down this game a little bit more, but we wanted to ask you guys this is the question because it's officially Lakers playoff time. This was the play-in, it's the playoffs. Will the Lakers win the NBA title? Banner number 18. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let us know in the comment section. It will be the pinned comment on today's video, so let us know down below. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we had a watch party today. If you tuned in, you're a real one. If not, we might be live later on in this playoff run, so hit that sub button, turn those noties on, and be along for the ride for the Lakers in this playoffs. We'll also be here all off season long, so you won't want to miss out. Subscribe to the Lakers Report today.
Rolly, your first thoughts on the playoff series against the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it'll be a very tough series for the Lakers, but one I think they can elongate and maybe even win.
Listen, here's the thing. I thought Anthony Edwards was going to dominate today because I didn't think the Lakers guards could really hold him. Turns out they did. Now, how will they do against Ja Morant and company when they go to Memphis? I think they kick off, is it Saturday or Sunday? Do you know yet, Coop?
I believe it will be Sunday.
Sunday, so they'll play them on Sunday in Memphis. Ja Morant's a different animal. He's explosive. He can get to the rim, will drive by you, give some dishes, he'll jam on your head. How will Schroder and company defend him? Will Vanderbilt be ready to go? Vanderbilt only played 22 minutes ago. I honestly thought it might have been injury-related because it didn't really make too much sense to me. They rolled with Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, Schroder, and LeBron down the stretch. In this game against the Timberwolves, will they do that again in Memphis?
I bet that changes against Memphis. I think you'll see Vanderbilt a little bit more. I think it was more dictated by matchup tonight, and Vanderbilt wasn't clamping up like he normally does, so I think they felt better with Hachimura there on the court. And credit to Darvin Ham for making that adjustment in-game as well, going with the 5 best players, not sticking with D'Angelo Russell, putting Dennis Schroder in there when he needed to be. So credit to Darvin Ham and credit to this Lakers team for getting to the Grizzlies. The most interesting matchup to me is who is Dylan Brooks going to guard on this Lakers team?
I think if you look at the Memphis side, I think they'll put Dylan Brooks on LeBron. It only makes sense. I'm running through their starting five in my head. Steven Adams is out.
He's out. He will be out.
I don't know who their starting center is. I know they have Xavier Tillman. I can't imagine him starting. Do they run Jaren Jackson at the 5? Either way, Jaren Jackson Jr., a top 3 DPOY candidate this season. He might win DPOY. He might not. He will likely be matched up with Anthony Davis. That will be a fascinating matchup for the Lakers on the offensive end. Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't the best offensive player, can light it up at times, but he is primarily known for his defense. Will AD be able to get buckets on him? If they put Brooks on LeBron, Brooks is a pesky defender. He'll try to get in your head. He's almost Patrick Beverly. Like, I know you guys know, watching him for most of the season, what he did last year for the Lakers, clowning them, and afterwards with the Bulls. But that's what Dylan Brooks will bring. I'll be interested to see if the Lakers and D'Lo can bounce back, because Ja Morant isn't a good defender.
He is not.
Will D'Lo, Schroder, Reeves, will they be able to take control of a game like Schroder did today against Ja Morant in that Grizzlies backcourt?
Yeah, D'Lo had a tough go tonight, as we showed you earlier, 1 of 9 from the field, but I think against this Grizzlies team, Ja Morant, not known for his defensive prowess, D'Lo, the court might open up for him, and he might be the Lakers' secondary scorer behind Anthony Davis and LeBron James, who both were fantastic tonight and led the Lakers to the NBA playoffs after an absence last year. So I think the Lakers have a chance to win this series, man. I think they could if they get it back to the crypt for Game 6, I think they win that and they go 7.
I'll say this. I think it is very important for the Lakers to start off fast in the series. I mean, if they can leave Memphis with a 1-1 split, that will do wonders for the Lakers.
That's the biggest key. You always look to split. If you don't have the home court advantage, you look to split, because that means you do have the home court advantage coming back, as you would have to win 3, and you have 3 games left at home.
Yeah, we'll continue to talk more about this matchup and maybe some of the events that happened in tonight's game against the Timberwolves. But I want to know, who do you got? Type LAL for the Lakers. Type MEM for the Grizzlies. I'm assuming I want to see a lot of Lakers. I want to see it flooded in the comment section. So let me know who you got in this 2-7 matchup in the Western Conference playoffs.
Rolly, what do you think the biggest key is for the Lakers defensively in this series?
Well, defensively, I think it's stopping the Grizzlies on the fast break. I don't think you want to let Ja Morant and company get loose, get free-flowing, bang on your head. I already mentioned earlier, you don't want to see the crowd going nuts because Ja Morant just posterized you. So you're going to have to, if you miss your shot, if you miss a 3, get back on D. You can't let the Grizzlies run out and get free buckets, because we know this Lakers team is a good defensive team. They were horrible in the first half against the Timberwolves, but tightened up and only allowed about 44 points, I believe. 42, 44 points in the second half and overtime against the Timberwolves. So they can defend really well in the half court. So if you let that game slow down the pace, don't let the Grizzlies run out on you, I think that will do wonders for the Lakers.
I think the key for the Lakers is to slow the game down.
Exactly.
You just don't want Ja Morant running out in the open court. He can throw down crazy dunks, and he's one that if he gets open space, you're not stopping him. So the Lakers need to be able to slow the games down, take the possessions out of it, keep the games around 105 points, because that's what the NBA is today. If it's 105 points, it's a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Tonight's game against the Timberwolves was a low-scoring game. I think the Lakers would like that to be the case against the Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to mention is that you can't really get beat off the dribble as much. I know it's hard to say, but Luke Kennard for the Grizzlies, he has been shooting 50% this season from the three-point line. He has been an elite
having a great year.
Marksman from 3. So I don't want, if you're the Lakers, you can't let them dribble drive and then you help off Ja Morant to stop him from jamming on you.
Stay out on the perimeter.
And then they kicks out for Kennard and he's going to hit that lefty pure jump shot, nothing but net. You can't let that happen. I thought that's what occurred a little bit in the first half of tonight's game against the Timberwolves. They got beat off the dribble, left the Taurean Prince, who went 4 for 7 from 3. Conley was like 6 of 7 or 6 or 8 from 3. You can't let that happen because the Grizzlies are a better offensive team than the Timberwolves. So if you play like you did in the first half of tonight's game against the Timberwolves, against the Grizzlies, it might be a long series. But if you're able to play like you did in the second half tonight, I think the Lakers will make this a series. I don't know if we're giving predictions just yet, Coop, but I would be willing to say right now it will at least be going 6 or 7 games.
We'll give our prediction after this. You mentioned Luke Kennard, who I think could be an X factor for the Grizzlies. Who do you think the X factor for the Lakers is in this series? I'm going to go with D'Angelo Russell. I think if Russell's going on, I think the Lakers could win this series because they'll have LeBron. You know they'll have Anthony Davis. Who's that third guy that's going to supplement those guys? I think it's D'Angelo Russell. Maybe you pick Dennis Schroder. Maybe you pick Rui Hachimura. Who are you going with?
I think I'm going to go Dennis Schroder. I mean, we saw him today against the Timberwolves. He was unbelievable. He basically willed this team to victory. Without Dennis Schroder's performance tonight, the Lakers would have not beat the Timberwolves and matched up with the Grizzlies. It's as simple as that. So I would go with Dennis Schroder as my X factor because he can defend. If he can help limit Ja Morant and provide that offensive spark like he did tonight against the Timberwolves, that would be an unbelievable X factor. But that's who Coop and I picked. He picked D'Lo. I picked Dennis Schroder. Let us know who your X factor is for the Lakers to beat the Grizzlies down in the comment section.
Prediction time, Rolly. Who you got in this series and how long?
Tough to call right now, and I'm not going to be a homer. I'm putting on my big J pants. I know we're on the Lakers report. I'm going to go Grizzlies in 7. I think the Lakers give them one hell of a fight. I think they're an outstanding team, but I am going to go with the Grizzlies in 7 games. I honestly think it might be one of those games where everybody just wins at home, and the Grizzlies are just going to outlast them and win it at their home court in Game 7.
I think I'm going to take the Lakers. I'm going to take the Lakers to win this in 7. I think LeBron and Anthony Davis will prove to be too much for the Grizzlies, and the Lakers will get the first round upset and move on to the second round.
Yeah, I buy it. I do buy it.